Welcome to a practice for listening in between the signals and noise. Before we get started, I'd just like to thank you for following and subscribing. I normally do a podcast weekly on a Saturday, but this week I've decided to do an audio practice instead. Podcast will be next week. Thank you for supporting my work, and I hope you find the following helpful. Before you do this, however, please do read the post in its entirety to help you form some sort of context about what I'm talking about. Always helpful. So, let's get started. Take a comfortable seat either on a chair or on the floor. Actually, you can lie down as well if you prefer. If you are sitting, keep your spine nice and tall, your front body very soft, and your hands in a receptive position or comfortable position. So maybe just be that your palms are on your knees, on your thighs, or if you're more experienced, feel free to take a mudra of your choice. Firstly, take a moment to bow your head and welcome yourself to this moment, to your body, and invite the richness of your breath, your full breath, to be present. As we start to begin this practice, see if you can follow your breath at a steady pace. So start to allow a steady, equal breath count to come in. So it may be that you can only breathe in for the count of 3. And that means that you would breathe out for the count of 3. Or if you're more experienced, you might be able to breathe in for the count of 5, 6, 7, or 8 and breathe out. But however many steps you're using for the breath, don't get caught up in that. Instead, just allow the breath to be equal and even to afford you the nourishment you need. Eyes can be opened or closed. If they're open, then do take a moment to drop your gaze to about a foot in front of you and keep your gaze there. Or, alternatively, if you prefer, allow your eyes to gently close. Now, what can you begin to hear? Are you perhaps fixated on one sound, or can you hear many different sounds? And if that is the case, can you start to separate and distinguish those sounds? On a surface level, of course. I'll give you a few moments here just to really settle in, to see if you can begin to refine your external hearing a little clearer. So, what are the sounds that you're hearing, and where are they coming from? Do you hear them individually or as a whole? And if you hear them as a whole, can you start to distinguish the sounds first? And then once you've distinguished those sounds, can you see if you can allow them to merge as a whole? Now allow yourself to notice any pauses in between the various noises you hear. What do you hear? A dog barking? Some humming, some noise that you can't quite work out? Are you hearing just external noises now? Or are you beginning to tune in and hear something internal? Perhaps a certain silence is emerging. So, in the yogic teachings, there is a practice called pratyahara, and that is the going within and shutting out as many external sounds as possible to allow an inner sense of calm to emerge. However, this is why we're doing this practice. In order to achieve that successfully, you first have to refine your ability to listen to the sounds around you. And then once you start to develop and refine a deeper awareness or a deeper level of listening, then you can start to turn your attention inwards. And why is this important for us? Because in general, we're overstimulated with technology. If you've read the post, then you'll apply that context to these practices and prompts. As we grow more dependent and spend more time interacting with technology, this practice becomes even more vital. And taking these quiet moments, carving out time to sit quietly, to go within, so we can rebalance our nervous systems from the bombardment of and radiation from technology and internet waves and sound waves and everything that's going on in our environment. Sometimes we just need to be. And hopefully, this is what this practice is allowing you to do. Now, ask yourself, are you all now just focusing on one sound? And if so, by doing that, is everything else dropping away? You don't have to be perfect at this. It takes a while to be able to refine your listening. Now, can you allow yourself to go even deeper? So once you've listened externally, once you've separated those sounds and then allowed them to merge, if you go even deeper, what is stirring underneath the surface for you? Does the noise start to turn into thoughts? Or instead, are you hearing your own vibration, your own internal signal? In yoga philosophy and in the texts, Om is considered the seeds of creation, all that is. U, Ah, Om. Those three C's represent everything in the world as we know it, and in the world where we don't know everything. This manifestation of creation, this seed sound is said to represent all of life. Once you start to refine your inner listening, you may even be able to hear with practice your own inner sound, as I mentioned. Like it's like a reverberation, like a very slight humming sound. So, not tinnitus and none of the other symptoms around that symptom, but I'm talking about a humming. There's something else there, and that's you holding the space for you. Begin to deepen the breath from where you are. You can return to just a normal breath in and a normal breath out. No need to have the equal step breath, samasriti. If your eyes are closed, you can start to allow them to softly flutter open and begin to take in the environment visually around you, what's in front of you. Start to become aware spatially how you're holding yourself in space and time. And bring your hands to prayer position in front of your heart and bow your head. Maybe just dedicate this practice up to you finding a safe space for yourself in amongst the busyness of our chaotic and sometimes technological based world of ours. Bowing to the essence of what it means to come home to yourself, and also maybe giving up any benefits that you receive from this practice up to all beings. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. It must be so. Namaste. Thank you for listening. I hope you found this helpful in your busy day.